So apparently, William will be William will be a work from home royal going forward. Um, according to the Daily Beast. What do you think about that? So he will be combining digital appearances and in-person engagements to maximize impact. At least this is according to the Daily Beast. And it is some kind of dry run for his future reign as king. I mean, what do I think about this? I don't know. Let's discover this article together. So it says here um, that he's planning to return to full time duties next week, okay? But he will be combining work from home with in person. So even if you're not seeing him, in other words, next week, him or Kate, he's still working behind the scenes, right? Look, I work from home. You know, a lot of people work from home. Why is it so strange that Kate and William are working from home? Because if William is working from home, you can bet your bottom dollar you're not going to be seeing Kate, right? So this is one way to cover up the fact that you're not seeing Kate is you also don't see William. These people are effing brilliant. You know what I'm saying? Look and learn. Look and learn. These people are effing brilliant. Did I not give them an A plus for that stunt they pulled with the Kate Cancer announcement and all of this other not just just the whole thing that culminated with Kate's cancer announcement. I gave them A plus. I don't know what to give them with this one, but this is basically telling you is that you're not going to be seeing Kate anymore. You're not going to see Kate anymore because if William is working from home, what do you think you're going to see Kate going around slinging pancakes and going into prisons and this, that, and the next? Of course, you're not. She's stricken with cancer, right? Wow. So it says here um, that he was seen on Wednesday and he did the social media post. So he's going to become a social media king, right? Or a social media king in waiting. Take your pick, right? Where he gives a social media post. He has an occasion like he did with George. He showed up. He did a um a soccer. Please stop. Oh fuck! What is this? Sorry about that. Sorry about that. I mean, it's 4 o'clock in the morning, for God's sake. You know, I can't be harassed at 4 o'clock in the morning. Okay, so um, what was I saying? I don't even remember. But you know, this whole work from home thing is a brilliant move on the part of Kensington Palace and their handlers because they need to explain the lack of visibility of Kate Middleton. And if you keep seeing William all alone but not Kate, clearly that's going to raise red flags. So the way you do this is you pull William from public visibility. A. B, it's also the fact that I think, you know, William wants to be more like Harry. And if Harry can do Zoom calls for his appearances from Montecito to UK, why can't he also do Zoom? It's like monkey see, monkey do with William, right? So he also wants to be that sort of cool, you know, 21st century social media savvy guy, entrepreneurial guy, right? Sort of what Harry is. So, at least how he perceives Harry. So, you know, Harry makes appearances by Zoom and then that's reported all over social media. He wants a model, something like that. So there's that explanation. But then there's also you kill two or three birds with one bullet because then when Kate is not seen in public, there's no need to have to explain it, right? Um, it says here it was a carefully calibrated dip of the toe back into public life, and ongoing digital engagement is understood to be a key plank of his strategy for combining the unexpected intensification of his royal role, occasioned by his father's illness, with being a family man, bringing a kind of WFH or WTF, take your pick approach to the business of royalty, as one friend put it. So, the sort of counterintuitive thinking here to me is very interesting because, I mean, your father is ill and seriously ill, so that he has no energy to do all the things that need to be done. And rather than step up your role as, his wingman, his liege man, if you will, you've stepped back by like 3,000%. You've literally stepped back by 3,000% at the very moment that you need to step up by 6,000%. This is very counterintuitive and very bizarre. So another theory is, in addition to covering, so that why is Kate missing, or competing with Harry to try to be more sort of like, you know, digital and distance, work from distance, it's entrepreneurial thing, is the boycott of the Charles and Camilla monarchy. I mean, in a way, I feel like this is a total, full-fledged boycott of Charles's monarchy. It's like, I am not going to lift a finger to help you. I don't care how sick you are. I don't care how short on manpower you have as king, right? I don't care if Camilla drops from exhaustion, right? Of having to do everything by herself. I am not available and my wife is not available. And I can't understand for the life of me what would make William so angry, unless a couple of things. One is maybe William has not helped um, Kate's mother with the bankruptcy because he can't. And he can't because the king is not giving the okay to write the big checks. And so he's angry and Kate is angry, right? Because for me, William and Kate are in this together. Whatever's going on, people are saying they're getting a divorce. I'm not buying it. I think they're in it together. Yeah, I think that William and Kate are in it together. So I feel like we could be witnessing a boycott. William and Kate have literally boycotted Camilla's and Charles's reign, right? For what reason? Well, like I said, I mean, you know, well, among other things, you have the issue with the money and the Middletons looking like an idiot. And William was just at a pub with Carol Middleton, so they're close. And I think if he had the money and if he had the way to do it, he would write her the check. I really do. I can't imagine why he would just string her up to dry like that, right? But then there's another thing, if you go back to those jewels, the whole scandal last year about this time, about the 80 million pounds worth of missing jewelry. And they had Kate's picture all over the article. Nothing to do with Camilla. They made it clear that it was Queen Elizabeth, Camilla, and Kate who were seen in these missing jewels. And there were pictures of Kate in the $40 million jewels. One of them was worth 40 million, right? And so the tone of that article, if you go back and you read all those articles in the Daily Mail and just all those English papers, is that Kate was the last one to be seen with missing jewels. And the question is, how did this story even get to the press? I mean, for sure I didn't give it to the press. You didn't give it to the press, right? Um, it's somebody in the palace who gave it to the press, right? And it seemed again that all these hit pieces were written about Kate. And I don't, to my knowledge, and correct me if I'm wrong, this story has never been clarified. There has not been any follow up. Nobody has told us, well, all the jewels have been replaced. But I mean, if somebody in the palace threw Kate onto the bus in this horrific way and exposed her to all these hit pieces and to public suspicion, it's a huge blow. It's a huge blow. I mean, it's like a death blow. $80 million. Now you're suggesting that I stole 80 million pounds of jewelry right at the same time that my parents are bankrupt. Do you know how that makes me look? Right? So, because again, if you go back and read all those articles, it wasn't Camilla who was under suspicion, it was Kate. And the fact that this story even got out to the press in this way says it's coming from inside the palace. And Kensington Palace was not going to throw Kate under the bus in this way, obviously. So then it's coming from Buckingham Palace. And the nature of this dispute is very womanish. It's petty. It's like, these are my jewels. I am the queen. I am the one who gets first dibs on them, not you. It's not your turn. It's my turn. Return the jewels, and I want to decide which ones I want. You are not queen. I am queen. This is how this is what this is giving. That whole slew of articles was giving a woman who was asserting her right to be in a particular position over another woman, right? Because Kate and William, as soon as the queen died, were, in my opinion, starting to act like they were the next king and queen. Even at the king's coronation, I believe they showed up late. And why did they show up late? They were busy making a video. This frankly, I thought it was a bit bizarre. They were not the king and queen, but they had this huge video production made of them at the house getting, it was so completely bizarre. And I think that Camilla is angry about it. This is my opinion, right? Because everybody's trying to just brush over her reign as queen and act like Kate is the queen, and Kate herself is acting like she's the queen, and William is acting like he's the king. And so I feel like all of this is a boycott because there is a breakdown in the relationship between Charles and William and Kate and Camilla. Of course, in public, they do what they do, but I believe that this move to working from home is further distancing himself from helping his father, who is now so desperate, he's reaching out to Edward and Sophie. How far down the line is Edward and Sophie, right? So this is another theory I have because for me, this whole thing is total BS. Working from home, doing what? You can't shake hands working from home. You can't shake hands working from home. There's no pandemic that would allow you to continue to do that indefinitely. Okay, they said that he's going to mix public engagements with working from home. But working from home doing what? Working from home doing what? And since Charles's announcement of cancer, count for me, dear listener, how many times have you seen Charles and William in the same shot, in the same video, in the same photograph since Charles announced that he is seriously ill? How many times have you seen his son William, his liege man, next in line to the throne with his sick father? Think about that. This is a boycott. William has boycotted his father's monarchy, right? And why would he do that? Because of something that happened between them. There's been a breakdown in the relationship. This is my opinion. So that's just another explanation for this working from home because he and Kate are distancing themselves from the monarchy. I don't believe that this is because he's covering because Kate is dead. People are saying all kinds of crazy things. Kate is, no, I don't think Kate is dead. Kate is very much alive. She's working alongside with her husband in whatever their strategy is. And their strategy is distancing themselves. They're distancing themselves from King Charles's monarchy and Camilla. Um, so yeah. So there are three explanations there, right? Is either they're covering up what happened to Kate, right? Or so it's either they're covering up for what happened to Kate, or he's competing with Harry, or he's boycotting his father's monarchy, or all of the above, right? Um, I think you'll see him try and balance the demands of state with the demands of being a good family man, taking care of his sick wife and making sure his kids are. I mean, they keep highlighting his sick wife. I mean, who the hell, a young woman wants to be known as the sick wife? I mean, they're using it as some kind of currency, a get out of jail card. But it's like it's so. I don't think they understand. It's so unglamorous to if you need a strategy and an out, you don't use this one. It's so unglamorous. It could just taint her forever and just take away her glamour. All people think of when they look at her is that disease. For God's sake, stop it. It's his sick wife. I mean, that woman at the farm shop we saw 2 days before that cancer announcement. I even hate saying the word. It's making me feel like I'm making myself sick with this. Anyway, you know, whatever. So he's going to be working from home. So are we at least going to see them taking the children back to school after Easter break or not? It's very, very mysterious, you guys. I mean, it's a very, very mysterious thing that's going on in the British monarchy. But whatever the explanation, whether he's competing with Harry, or he's covering up for his missing wife, or he's boycotting his father's presidency, his father's monarchy. It's an interesting story. I mean, it's intrigue, and if they need something interesting, I mean, yeah, this is a little bit interesting. It's the mystery of what really is going on with William and Kate. Um, Yeah, but this work from home thing, wait, let's assume, if we assume that everything is on the up and up and he just decided to work from home, I don't think that will work in the long run with the British people, although they're very adaptable and very desperate for monarchy. I feel like the British people are desperate to keep the monarchy. I mean, they're terrified of not having a monarchy. But, if William is going to work from home, it's going to affect a lot of things. For one thing, I think it's going to affect journalism. You're going to have a lot of journalists who are no longer going to have jobs because, the royal rota is all about covering the royal family. But with William and Kate working from home, there's no royal family to cover. I mean, there's Edward and Sophie, okay, but that's about it. I mean, King Charles is old and Queen Camilla is old and King Charles is sick. I mean, there's only so much you can write about King Charles and Camilla at this point. They are geriatric, you know, they're in their geriatric phases. Everybody gets there if we don't die, right? But I mean, your geriatric phase is not your most exciting phase. Nobody really cares about Camilla's fashions. I mean, lately she's been looking, I think, stunning. I think she looks great, beautiful. But in the end, she's not a fashion influencer. She never can be because she's in her geriatric phase. All right. So the Royal Rota is not going to be, running over themselves to cover Charles and Camilla unless something very out of the ordinary is occurring or has occurred, right? So there's that. So who is left? So there's Kate and William who are now going to be working from home, which means you're not going to be seeing them. A big part of the Royal Rota's job is to discuss Kate's fashion choices, her wardrobe. I mean, if nothing else, she contributed that to, to the conversation, her sartorial choices, right? I mean, people want to see what is she wearing, and they love that. But it sounds like, at least for the next year, they're not going to have that to talk about. So, what are they going to write about? There's going to be a crisis and there's a void. And where they put a void, like this man, he is putting a void. I think those journalists are going to have to fill the void or lose their jobs. And this may be very bad for William because they're going to have to start speculating. Well, I guess they could always press harder on Harry and Meghan, which they will obviously, and that obviously sells papers more than anything else and gets more clicks. You talk about Harry and Meghan, you get clicks. You talk about other things and other people, you don't get clicks. Believe me, I know this from a personal experience. So, I guess this might be a way of even maybe trying to throw Harry and Meghan more onto the bus, is pull back Kate and William. I mean, I don't know. But I mean, the journalists are going to need work. They're going to need things to talk about and to write about. And if Harry and Meghan, even if they're getting bad press, become the face of the monarchy, I mean, and the journalist's job is just to try to tear them down while the rest of the world can see that these two people are doing a magnificent job at just being themselves, living their lives, succeeding, doing good work, staying busy, actually working and earning their keep. I think the whole narrative of Harry and Meghan being grifters and William and Kate being these good people who don't grift is going to be exposed on an even bigger level, because even the British people are going to have to re examine this bias they have to say that Harry and Meghan are grifters and William and Kate are not, when William and Kate are literally sitting on their asses behind computer screens talking about their working from home, and then the whole world sees Harry and Meghan all over the place working, you know, 24/7, you know, 365 a year, right? So it's a lot with this work from home thing. And I hope William has really thought about it, because on a certain level, I do wonder if, I don't even know what just happened, but on a certain level, I do wonder if William is trying to blow up the monarchy. What are your thoughts about all this?